The final place that I have lessons from unexpected places, and I'll give you one example, is from Somali, Ethiopia, and Rwanda. When I went in to start doing humanitarian work about 9 years ago in Eastern Africa, I'm there every year, multiple times a year in some years. I didn't know. I knew it would change my life because going into such extreme scenarios always does. But I had no idea how applicable the nonprofit NGO village lessons would be to literally every part of my life. And one of the biggest lessons that I will give you is to focus on things that are small enough to change, but big enough to matter. So we were working with these villages, and we were with the people who are locals. And the people who are locals said, there's a small village, and we know you're gonna see the people on the street, and there are a lot of them dying, and you're gonna wanna stop. But we're not gonna stop. We're gonna drive right past them. You're gonna walk right over them. And then you're gonna go, and there's another village, that's a middle-sized village. And that's the village we're gonna work with. But there's actually a bigger village. And so we had this discussion about how can we step over a life? Doesn't every life matter? Imagine this discussion, real time, driving past people dying on the road, walking literally over women dying with their babies also dying on the road. How can you justify passing up helping this life for the next? And this is a lesson in limited resources. In your personal life and in your business, you only have so much fill in the blank. Time, energy, love, resources, money. You only have so much. I don't care how big you are, how wealthy you are, how great you are, you still only have so much. And so the trick in life is investing your resources, your time, your money, your energy, your love, your attention, whatever it is, in the most important things that provide the greatest return on that effort. If you were investing money, why would you invest $1 in something that gave you back 10 if you could invest it in something that gave you back 100? That would seem silly, right? The difference is that's so literal, it's so clear in life how we spend our time. We don't, as humans and definitely as women, always do the best job in thinking about, even though this feels right, is this really the best use of my time? Could I use the same amount of time, money, energy, resources to impact something even greater in my life and my community and my job? And in the case of the villages, if it took 3 people and $1,000 to help the little village, we still could have used 3 people and $1,000 to help a village that was 3 times the size. Hence, we went to the middle village. But then one of the people in my team said, wait a minute, if that's true, why wouldn't we go to the biggest village? Aha, excellent question. Because although you want to be a part of things that are big enough to matter, which is the case of the middle village being bigger and more impactful for the same resources as the little village, they actually have to be within your control. So are there a lot of things in the world that I want to change, especially right now? Of course. But I can't snap my fingers and change it. It doesn't mean that's not my dream. It means that I have the dream for the big win, the big goal, but I'm going to get comfortable with small wins that build my way to that change. So we debated, and we actually went to the big village. And we said, see, we can help. We taught a class. They learned the agricultural techniques. We showed you. We helped the big village. You know what happened as soon as we left? They went right back to their old ways. Because when something is so big and so challenging and so systemic, it protects itself. It goes right back to its old ways. But the middle village was small enough that we could get to more people and create the beliefs that were strong enough that when we left, they stuck. Interesting anecdote about that decision to invest in the middle village. We go back 18 months later, and we were trying to get them to stop growing this narcotic called Chad and grow more vegetables and learn how to purify water and do things that set them up for self-sustainability. 18 months later, we go back. Not only had they exceeded the goal, converting hectares of narcotics to vegetation to not only feed their families and to sell, but they had gone to the little village to teach them. And the big village heard about it and sent people to buy the seedlings and learn the techniques. By focusing on the right thing, we affected everything. If we had focused on either of the other two because of the emotional pull to either have the biggest win or to not walk over the small opportunity, we would have actually affected nothing. Small enough to change, but big enough to matter. Big enough to matter is about the greatest return on your time and your effort and your money and your resources. But small enough to change is about understanding there are some things that are bigger than you.